Bonjour tout le monde, Bruno Barrette en direct de Confoo pour le Bracket Show 2021. On est à la première journée de Confoo et j'ai la chance de recevoir avec moi Ankit Sharma. So Ankit, first of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Bruno. How are you doing?
Pretty good, thanks. Before starting with the questions, I'd like maybe to ask you to present yourself, who you are, what you do, a little bit about you.
Yeah, so my name is Ankit. I'm currently staying in Bihar, India, and I'm working as a full stack consultant with Luminescent Digital. And I have almost 6 years of experience in full stack development, which includes Angular and jQuery on the UI, and on backend I have worked mostly with the Microsoft tech stack like .NET, .NET Core, SQL Server, etc. And I am also a community contributor. I have authored 3 books: one on Blazor, one on C Sharp, and another one is on Angular. And I am also contributing to open source community in form of talks, article, blogs, and I write on Medium. I have my personal blog at ankitsharmablogs.com, and I have been recognized as Microsoft MVP and a Google GDE for Angular for my community contribution. And I'm pretty excited to talk about JWT for in Confoo, and I'm very happy that we are doing this interview today.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun. If I
Yeah,
had knew you authored about Blazor, I probably would
yeah,
have a few questions on this because I'm a big fan of Blazor too.
yeah.
Uh,
We
so
can discuss it anytime.
all right, I'll hold
So
on to that part.
just a fun fact. So the book which I authored was the first book on Blazor.
Oh,
First
that's
book
pretty
we
cool.
ever written on Blazor. It was written almost 2 years back when Blazor was in preview.
Okay, so it was not on the full production ready release that
No,
was about a year ago.
no. So I'm currently working on a video course which will be released in maybe 2 months,
Okay.
which will be on Blazor with .NET 5.
Oh, that's pretty cool. We'll definitely have to talk about that another time
Yes.
because I'm always looking about people passionate about Blazor. I'll have someone that you probably know, Chris Sainty, uh,
Yes, I know that.
will be in an interview with me on Fridays. So we'll have lots of fun talking about Blazor too.
Yes.
All right, so I'll move on with what I wanted to talk about because you have one of your talks is about web security, more
Yes.
specifically about JWT.
Yes.
So my first question on this would be, is JWT the only secure option we have? And if not, what are the other options around?
No, JWT is not the only option. So JWT is a token-based authentication mechanism. So JW stands for JSON Web Tokens. So let's say if we have to secure data between two parties, client and server, we have to transmit data. Then in that case, JWT is preferred. Apart from that, we have other kind of mechanism like OAuth, and we have Azure AD, and then we have some third-party OAuth mechanism like using Facebook or Google authentications. So there are a lot of authentication mechanism available, but today I will be talking about JW, which is a token-based authentication mechanism.
Okay. Um, on the other hand, are there any security options out there that are still available, still used, and that we should probably avoid?
Yeah, so I have seen a lot of people securing password in database in plain text. So maybe almost 1 year back, there was a data breach in Twitter, and it was told that the password was stored in plain text. So if Twitter is storing data in plain text, then it's very bad for all of us who is using Twitter. So
Yeah,
please do not
definitely.
store, yeah, please do not store password in plain text. Always hash it or use some encryptions.
Yeah. Do you think cookie-based authentication, well, specifically when comparing to JWT, should we still be doing cookie-based auth?
Cookie based is old school. So cookie right now we have JWT, which is more secure and preferred than cookie based authentication. So cookie based is easy to break, and we can have XSS attack. I am not sure what the attack name, but I think it's XSS or XSRF, which is very easy to do on cookie based authentication. So
Yeah,
in today's world, cookie based authentication is not secure, and we should not do it. It is very basic and can be easily broken. JWT is far better than any cookie based authentication.
all right. And maybe for people that don't necessarily think about securing their applications, what could you say about what are we risking if you don't secure at all, or if you don't secure it well? What are you risking in terms of business or data? What's the risks?
So I always believe that if you are not securing your application, then you are risking the trust of your client. You are not risking the data, you are not risking money, you are risking the trust of the client. In any business, trust is the most important thing. And if my account got compromised once, I am not going to use your application again, because it's not secure enough. So if you are not securing application, you are losing your client, you are losing the trust, and you are losing your client, and eventually you will lose your business. So security should be the foremost, the priority for your application. So for example, I will give you an example. I am working as a full stack developer, and whenever we are developing any web application, we always say that we should develop mobile first. In today's world, we say that we should develop mobile first. Similarly, from architecture point of view, we should say that we should always design our architecture from security point of view. We should always put security on the priority list number one. We should never compromise with the security, because right now hackers can do any type of attack. They can do a lot of kind of attacks. For example, they can confiscate your data, they can put some ransomware, and they can demand any amount of money, and you will be in trouble at that point of time. So always put security on top priority.
That was my other questions I had. Maybe we can dive in a bit more into details, because we see a lot of developers, a lot of customers thinking about security late in the process. Well, obviously, we just talk about it. It's a big concern because you should think about it first.
Yes.
But what can we do as developers, to justify the fact that we should start with security to the clients when they're not necessarily aware of all the impacts it can have?
So I have worked with multiple clients from different technological background and different business background also. And what I have found common among all the clients is that they only look at the finished product. So if you are developing an app, a web app, or any mobile app, the client will just look at a button, click on the button, and if the login is successful, client is happy. Client does not care what is happening in the background. And if tomorrow your password is compromised, the client will come back running to you that your application is faulty. So as a developer, it's my responsibility to tell the client that what is the problem if we do not implement the proper security mechanism. We should tell the client about the downside of not having a strong security mechanism, because most of the time the clients are not tech savvy, they are just business people, so they don't understand technology in detail. So that is why we developer are there to help him understand that this is the problem if you do not have the security. So we should convince him, and we should implement security. So that is what my take is there.
All right. I'll move on to another subject that you told me before the interview you wanted to talk about, and it's something that I really like. It's about mentorship.
Yes.
So maybe I could start with a simple question. What's your vision of what mentorship is?
So in my opinion, mentorship is guiding people to the right direction. So it's different from teaching. A lot of people confuse mentorship with teaching. No, it's not teaching. I'm not going to tell you that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. I will not tell you. I will tell you where to implement that knowledge and how to use that knowledge to gain a job or get some benefits out of this. So the mentorship which I am doing here in India mostly is that I am helping people with getting jobs and clearing some interviews and helping them in web development, mostly in Angular. And .NET. Blazor is still not a job friendly framework. I work on front end. I work on both Blazor and Angular, and Blazor is not a job friendly framework as of now. So Angular is very high demand in India. So the mentorship which I am doing is in form of teaching them what kind of question they can expect in Angular interview. I conduct mock interview, give them feedback that you are missing these points. I help them review their projects which they can use them in their interviews. I review their CVs. So those kind of mentorship which I am doing.
Okay. How do you feel this is different in doing in the context of the actual global pandemic? Because you can't be sitting right next to the person all the time. A lot of people are working from home. So how does it make mentorship different?
So I think now this is the new normal. We are seeing each other across screen. So there are both positivity and negative things are also there. So for example, the positive thing is that you can connect with a person anytime and you don't have to get out of your house. And like I just finished my dinner like 5 minutes back and now I am having interview with you. But let's say this is in person, then I have to spend some time in traveling. Then there's a lot of time spent, extra time spent unnecessarily. So this is a benefit, but the downside is that there is no personal touch. If we are
Yeah.
speaking one to one, meeting physically, that's always better than meeting over a video call. So there are both positivity and negativity, but in my opinion I really like this setup because I can easily talk to multiple people having back to back calls on weekends, anytime during night time, whenever the people is free. Even in I have a call at 11 p.m. in night if the people are free, because it's easy to do that over a call, but it's not possible to do personally. So I
In
think we should
person, yes.
adapt to this. Yeah, I think we should adapt to this. This is
Okay.
going to be here for some time.
Yeah, that's right. All right. And what difference do you think mentorship can make for a young developer starting their career? What's the biggest impact it can benefit for them?
So what I have felt is that I have finished my college in 2014 in India, and when I joined my first company, which was TCS, I think you have probably heard the name TCS. So when I went into work, I saw that whatever I have learned in college is not useful there. Like my 4 years of college is like, why should why have I have wasted my money and time both. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that in a new developer and a person who is just starting up, freshers, it's very important to tell them about the real world, the real project. If you are working on a project which is being used by 1 million people, then there is a lot at stake, and you are not supposed to do any mistake. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be perfect. So that is what the scale we are working on. That is what the scale you are going to work on after you have finished the college. So these things we should tell to developer, and how to work in a big team. Like there are 40 people in the team, from tester, from QA, developer, your project owner, and a lot of people. So there are 40 people. You have to communicate with all of them. How are you going to present yourself to 40 people? How you are going to approach a very senior developer? Let's say there is a 15-year-old developer, he's a software architect, and you have just joined a company and you find there is some bug in the code. How you are going to talk to a 15-year-old guy that there is a bug in the code? So we have to teach a college student. See, I believe that software development is not just coding. It's about teaching. It's about communicating. Coding is like 20 to 30% of the thing. Mostly 60 to 70% we are communicating with people, organizing the things, talking with different people, understanding the project. So we have to tell the college student about these things. No college teaches this. That what you are going to expect when you go into a company. So that is why I focus on these things, that this is how a real world application or a real world project work.
All right. If we move on to maybe more experienced developers, you said in your example someone that's 15 years experience. Can those people also benefit from mentorship?
Yes.
And a side question to this, maybe you can answer in the same time. Can they benefit from mentorship from a younger developer?
I believe that number of years of experience doesn't matter. So there
Okay.
are multiple things which I don't know, and vice versa. There are multiple things which I don't know, you don't know, and vice versa, something like that. So it's not about number of years of experience. It's about the kind of project and the kind of application you have worked on a particular knowledge. For example, I am a .NET guy. I don't know Java, and if I have almost 6 and 6.5 years of experience. And if there is some college fresher who is very good at Java, I will definitely go to him and ask some Java concepts if I want to learn, because he is very good at Java. So you should not confuse number of years of experience with their skill set. You should talk to the people and think that if he is junior to you, let's say you have 15 years of experience and you want to something new. For example, let's say you already know some X technology and you want to learn some Y technology. Then you can go to a person who is junior to you but very good in that Y technology. Then you can talk to him. And this should work in both way. The
Mhm.
mentor should also understand that that guy is senior. He has very good experience and he should treat him as a senior person, not as a kid. And it should work in both way. And the mentee should also understand that this is not a junior. He should not be treated as a junior developer. He should be treated in expert in some XYZ technology. So I believe that a person of every experience, every years of experience, need mentorship in one way or another. For example, somebody needs in technical concepts, somebody needs in presentation skills. For example, there are a lot of people who don't know how to present themselves to other people, so they can talk to some person who can help with that. And also there are other things also. For example, if you move to a new role, maybe you are a software architect, you become a PM, and you don't know how to handle a team of maybe 20 people, you don't know how to handle a 25 people team. Then in that case, you can approach someone who is already having that experience, who might be senior or junior to you, and then you can gain some experience.
So it's a bit about putting ego aside.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's probably the trickiest part in all this.
Yes, but otherwise you will not learn. Yeah,
Right.
otherwise you will not learn. You should not put your ego in front of your mentor or mentee. So you should not tell that I know this XYZ. This is very simple. This kind of word you should not use. Yeah, this is very simple. You don't even know this, so you should not speak those kind of word. So see, that's what I said. Mentorship is different from teaching. In teaching, I am going to teach you that 2 + 2 = 4. But in mentorship, I assume that you already know this knowledge, and I will tell you how to implement this, where to implement this.
Right.
So that is what mentorship is.
All right. So that concludes the question I had. I hope you had a good time with the interview.
Yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Maybe if I can add a last one, because we're about 15 minutes from your first talk.
Yeah, almost 30 minutes. Yeah, almost 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, I have almost presented 30-35 talks in last 2 years or even more. But I still feel, you know, some sense of, you know, fear whenever I going to give a new talk. So
all right. So, well, great. I hope it goes well, of course. And I look forward to talk with you about Blazor another time.
yeah, sure. You can connect with me on Twitter or maybe on LinkedIn, and we can discuss anytime. We can connect on any interview panel which you discuss, and I'm happy to talk on Blazor. Like I have written a book. I have written more than 15 articles on Blazor. I have written a book. I am working on another video course. I have worked on Blazor extensively. So I'm happy to talk about that.
Great. I like the idea. So thanks a lot, Ankit. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Bruno. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Merci tout le monde.
Yeah, bye.